Welcome at forextrading.com. Let's discuss one of Forex patterns, which is head and shoulders. Basically, head and shoulders look something like this. We got left shoulder, we got some top, which is a head, and we got also a right shoulder. Then we have some kind of breakout to the downside or upside. There is also reversed version of the head and shoulders, which looks exactly the same, only a different direction. And usually it tells us that the trend is changing, or we have a change of the trend. Like here at this situation, we had a continuation of a growing trend, and then it changed to some kind of a dropping downtrend. So let's see how does it look like at live charts. We see here the first example. First thing first, one of the most important things, most of those situations when I see head and shoulders, it looks different than from the example picture. So we have some irregular shapes, one or the second shoulder is different size, or they are finishing ending at different base, different levels. More it is symmetric, it is better for the example of trade. More irregular shapes are making more, causing more problems with this kind of pattern. You see here, for example, we have kind of double top, if we can call it even. And I mean the head is based at two tops, different tops. So we are looking at 15-minute euro dollar chart, and right now the example is we had some kind of uptrend, and then after head and shoulders pattern we hit some new lows. I mean the trend has changed for some longer period of time based on this price chart movement. Now we're gonna take a look at few examples of live chart head and shoulders pattern. Most of these you can see in this kind of shape, but sometimes they look really different. So we will look at different examples, and some of them even doesn't really work for the trading. So I mean they do not change the trend. I mean they do not make any special opportunity for the trading positions. So this kind of pattern isn't really something I am using mostly at the live account trading because there are more simple, more efficient way to take a profit from the market than using this kind of pattern. But sometimes, of course, the supply and demand is showing us that really head and shoulders patterns showing us at some point, some moments, some particular levels of the prices are attractive to enter the market. But I don't mean that every this kind of pattern might be a situation for market entering. I'm far from saying that. Looking at those examples of the live chart patterns with head and shoulders pattern. Here, for example, we got reverse pattern of head and shoulders. We got left and right shoulder almost at the same level. And this was a downtrend example. And for example, this pattern didn't really change the trend. So it would be an example of trend continuation. I mean, this kind of signal didn't really give us opportunity to enter the market in the different trend. I mean there was no long situation. Market didn't go to the uptrend after making this kind of pattern. It didn't broke out to the upside. So you will see those kind of shapes with head and shoulder patterns. Some of them will be reasonable to enter the market, some will not. So it is important to notice them. For example, here we have kind of head and shoulder pattern on regular arms. Left arm is much lower than the right arm, and it's saying basically head and shoulders pattern is saying that we are having some tops at the left side which are broken out to the upside. Then the price came lower and didn't make it to go through to the upside again, stopped at some particular time. That's why we see this right shoulder right here. That made some highs but really wasn't higher than recent maximum at the price chart. So what head and shoulder pattern is really showing us that from the recent tops, the chart didn't really make it. Like here, for example, the price chart was growing, but accidentally, after dropping down, taking a breath a little bit, it started to grow, but didn't really make it. So we didn't make it to the point when we saw recent maximum highs, and the price started to come lower and lower. So we can notice a base of this pattern right here. It is a classic example of a trend reversal pattern, and the trend really changed aggressively after this moment was broken from this head and shoulder pattern. So this is a beautiful example of trading, and unfortunately most of head and shoulder patterns will not be so beautiful to point at the live chart trading. So let's take a look at another example of this time big head and shoulder pattern when we have a reversed head and shoulder, when the trend was really going down more or less aggressively, and then when it broken out it came back and didn't broke out again to the downside. It stayed at some particular level and started to grow again. So it is a reversed pattern, which tells us the sellout from this point stopped at this top, which would be ahead if we are looking at the price chart for head and shoulders surge. So again, breaking out from this right shoulder, which was also a base of this pattern, showed us that we are having some kind of demand, we can enter the market. But really, the size of this pattern didn't really make a big point by doing this move right here. I mean, comparing the size of the pattern and this move of 235 pips didn't really it was a big move comparing to the size of this pattern. So if we are the medium term traders, we might be expecting a little bit more of the this dropping down trend. I mean this part of the chart changing from this head and shoulders reverse pattern to the upside for a little bit longer time than those 200 pips. It is also important to take an action at the live market, sometimes based on the trend would be more reasonable to enter the market really with the trend. So I'm saying that most of the time this kind of pattern like we see head and shoulders here will be changing the trend. But if we are in the strong downtrend like it happened probably at this point, the move to the upside might be really small, insignificant. So you see this part of the move breaking out to the upside from this pattern was really insignificant, and it didn't really follow in the future and started to coming down to see some new lows because the trend was really strong at the chart. So right now we are looking at some examples at 15-minute chart, and most of the time more a bigger time frame will be more reasonable to change the trend. So I mean if we see this kind of trend changing pattern at 4-hour chart, it might be stronger that we see it at 15-minute chart. It could be more effective at bigger time frame. Here we are looking at the another example when the base of the head and shoulder pattern is pretty symmetrical. I mean the left and right arm short shoulder is at the same level, you see from the top as well. So it is a beautiful pattern and it changed the trend. I mean the growing part of the trend from this point to the downtrend for few moments, few or many hours like it happened at this example. So somebody could enter short here and take some profits. Only not always it is really reasonable to take this kind of action at the market. It depends how the market is trending right now. What kind of trend are we in? Is it a big growing trend, or we are in some kind of medium dropping down trend? So we are looking just at some short patterns example to see how head and shoulders are shaped at the price chart. But really entering the market is more complicated than just looking at the pattern and saying, oh, this is a reversal, a trend changing pattern, so I'm gonna enter here short, and that's pretty much it. Most likely, if we follow this kind of direction, we might be losing, unfortunately, some money doing this kind of trade. Supply and demand and regular, medium, and the big trend are most important things to follow in the first place. Pattern is something that we are looking at the second position, second level of reasonable entering the market. So let's take a look now at different time frame to see how it is really shaping. I mean the head and shoulders pattern and different time frame at euro dollar chart, 4-hour chart for this example, and we are looking at the left and right shoulder of the reversal pattern. So this is the part of the chart I was talking about earlier. I mean at the 4-hour chart, this kind of big pattern, when we have some breakout but looks like a fake breakout, the price came back and didn't really follow through to the downside, only broke out to the upside. The right arm showed us that we might be in the changing trend position right here. So this situation made clear that the right arm occurred on the chart. So I wasn't really sure that it is head and shoulders pattern until the price didn't go down here, didn't follow through to the downside of the market. It broke out to the upside. Then we see the head and shoulders. This pattern was made at the live chart market. So conclusion is not all of those patterns of head and shoulders will be interesting, like this one, for example, like in case of going long when the price broke out to the upside and follow through again. It is kind of the way I see the head and shoulder pattern. It is more complicated, a pattern that might be useful in some situations, some occasions. So it isn't really something that I see much often and I use every time I see it. I would rather focus at supply demand at the market, and to use sometimes situation when we see something breaking out strongly. We see here some support resistance that was broken, so we do not have to see exactly head and shoulders pattern to know that we have more demand at the market, like this moment right here. And that supply, I mean the short side of the market has been finished because we have no sellers coming in at the market at this point and a lot of buyers. That's what I'm saying, that we might be focused on, not exactly at looking for some kind of patterns that sometimes might be a little bit confusing, especially if we give a high rank to those patterns and focus on breaking out a situation from those patterns, which some of them might be a fake breakouts, and those really are hard to play on live market. So it would be all for now. Thank you very much for listening at forexyestrading.com. Thank you.